Okay, guys. So, last time that I made a video, I talked about summoning the 50 spirits of Marduk, and that got me thinking about summoning various types of spirits, or any experience that you might have using the Necronomicon spellbook to summon the spirits of Marduk. When it comes to summoning a spirit, you might not get the same experience that you see in the movies. You might not get a full manifestation of an entity, and there's a lot of reasons behind that. There's the energy level in the room. There's the ability of you to perceive that there is something there or not. So I'm going to be talking about the different ways that spirits can manifest themselves and the different ways that you can grow in your spiritual practice to be able to experience, see, and communicate with these beings. So what is evocation? Evocation is the means by which you bring an entity of otherworldly or other plane existence into communication with you. This can be through the uses of a Ouija board, scrying mirror, tarot cards, pendulum, or a circle and triangle of art like what's discussed in the Ars Goetia. And it could also be done through any other means, like if somebody wanted to use rune stones or those rune stick things, or basically any tool of a medium. Evocation on the astral plane involves either the use of a scrying mirror or meditational practice to see the entity in the astral through the light reflecting off the mirror, or in meditation in lieu of astral travel. In these methods, it is possible to see the spirit with your mind and hear the spirit. You may also have other sensory inputs such as heat, touch, or even emotional energy from the spirit that may influence you or may give you a message. To begin evoking in this way, it is important to build your astral senses. There are many ways to do this. Trust your instincts. The more you believe in your intuition and stop second-guessing yourself, you are more likely to open yourself up to the realm of the spirit world. 2. Meditate. Meditating opens the channel to the astral and other planes through toning your mind and body, much like the gate-walking experience of the Necronomicon does. 3. Engage in spiritual practices. The more connected you are to a spiritual system and a belief that things are unseen, but they're really there, the more likely you are to experience such a world. 4. Practice energy work such as Reiki, or even the simple technique of feeling the energy around you and taking note of it, like when you enter a room and it's really, really heavy, or you enter a nice party and everything is really light, upbeat, and bubbly. Take notice of those things. Kind of goes along with trusting your instincts. And 5. Lay off intoxicating substances such as drugs or alcohol. These can dampen your senses and even leave you vulnerable to negative attacks should you try evocating spirits, whether you use the Necronomicon and the 50 Names of Marduk, or the Goetia, or even something as simple as a pendulum, not to mention the fact that it will also leave you open to bad happenings in the physical world as well. Okay, so let's talk about evocation to the physical plane. Evocation to the physical plane is exactly as it sounds. Evocation to the physical plane is the means by which you evoke a spirit into physical appearance so you are able to communicate with it directly and greatly feel its influence. Books like the Necronomicon, the Goetia, and many other grimoires from hundreds of years ago discuss the means by which you do these things. The efforts it takes to invoke entities in this manner are great. There's a lot of energy that is used, and it can be very taxing on the practitioner. There are usually things like dietary restrictions, strict rules that you need to follow, strict attire that you need to wear, properly prepared tools, scripts that you need to read off of, and sometimes calendar difficulties, such as there only being a few days a year when the veil is thin enough to evoke a spirit completely from their home plane into ours, if even briefly. The Necronomicon itself speaks about such evocations in the Eurelia text, with a very difficult-to-decipher ritual, and only 4 days a year, I believe, when the Big Dipper constellation hangs low in the sky, that you can evoke the Ancient Ones for guidance or for use. In evocation to the physical plane, however, there are several things the movies like to show us that don't add up to reality. For example, many books discussing evocation in the physical plane detail that a great deal of smoke should be used from a burner, cauldron, or incense stick. Probably many incense sticks. to give the spirit its visible form, because the rules that govern reality in their home plane are different from the rules that govern reality here. Entities in this way are usually manifested to provide information to the person doing the magic, sort of an interrogation done by police, and then they are given license to depart. Some precautions about evoking spirits. Evoking spirits takes a great deal of energy to use. Be sure that you are well fed, have had plenty of rest, and have greatly rehearsed and reviewed your ritual. Do not do anything unless you are 100% confident in the magical system that you are using, and 100% confident in your ability to use it. That's why I don't really like to see different experiences, which I have seen on YouTube, of somebody wanting to pick up the Necronomicon spellbook and evoke spirits as a joke. Know that these entities are real beings with real power and deserve your respect when evoked. They do not like to stay a long time generally, and want to get to the point quickly so they can go home and go about their business. Think of it as having to pick up a phone call when you are really busy, or from an annoying family member. Would you want to stay on the phone for a very long time? I didn't think so. Also, evocation opens you, your dwelling, and your loved ones up to a lot of danger if not done properly. Not only do you need to do the evocation properly, but you also need to do the closing of the ritual properly, thus sending the entity home and closing the door. To warn you, some of the downsides of not being thorough throughout the whole ritual include sickness, injury, financial ruin, poltergeist activity in your home, car accidents, demonic oppression and demonic possession, psychological illness, and more. So if you think magical evocation is just like the Bloody Mary trick in the bathroom mirror at midnight, don't even think about it. Whatever doors you open need to be closed. Another thing is, whatever ritual materials and tools you use, make sure that they are spot on with the system that you are using. Because if anything is out of the ordinary, spirits will notice it and they will find it very disrespectful. Remember, whenever you do a certain evocation or any type of magic, you are working with higher entities and higher energies that demand respect, and you need to respect those things. To conclude this installment of my workings with magic, I wish you all good luck. When I first started using magic, I did not know that it was so powerful, nor did I know that it could come back to bite me if I did not follow the rules. So keep your eyes to the books for a while, dive into a system, and adopt it as a lifestyle. Magic is like exercise. The more you use it, the more you grow in it, and the easier it becomes. Stay tuned to my channel by liking this video and subscribing to learn more of how the Book of the Black Earth tells of an almost forgotten ancient form of mysticism and magic, and how you can learn to use it to grow as a spiritual being.